welcome in, my name is Will, and today I want to share some creative ideas on the drum kit based around sticking patterns. Now, this lesson is going to be all about choices and how we can make really simple choices to make our drumming sound more interesting and more exciting to play. Often, when I think we're asked to be creative on the drums, we think we have to think really outside of the box. What would Dave Grohl do when he played jazz for the first time whilst in a tree dressed as a dinosaur in 30-second notes? You don't need to go that far, it's too much. Just by making a simple choice, choosing a simple pattern and changing it slightly can really make things sound really cool on the drums. And I want to demonstrate that today by sharing with you a pattern that I've been working on recently. This is just a pattern that I've used, but what I really want you to take away from today is that you could use this technique with any sorts of pattern. So, grab a pen and paper, make a note. This is the pattern that we're going to be looking at today. It's a bar-long pattern that we're playing in 16th notes, which we count 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a... And I'm actually going to get the pattern first of all and split it in two. 8 notes each. Our first 8 notes are an inverted paradiddle, which goes like this. Right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left. One more time. Right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left. So if you haven't played that pattern before, I would really recommend putting some time in, taking the time to really get used to that pattern. It's a really cool pattern as it is on its own, so definitely worth getting into. Now, our second 8 notes are slightly different, and it really is just a small choice I'm going to make it slightly different. Let's just look at the pattern first of all. So our pattern is now, for the second 8, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left. Let's say that again. Right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left. So it's a paradiddle with the second half of an inverted paradiddle. God, that is a lot of words, isn't it? But actually, it's a really simple thing I did. I just changed one of the notes. So I've actually changed a left hand in an inverted paradiddle for a right hand. And by putting those two choices together, I now have a slightly different kind of inverted paradiddle pattern, but it actually sounds really, really cool. Particularly when we get onto the drum kit, you'll kind of see how by putting it on two surfaces, it makes a real big difference. But first of all, let's get used to that pattern. Let's practice it as much as we can. And if you can, really try and bring out the quarter note accents in the pattern, because that's going to sound really cool when you put it between the hi-hat and the snare drum on the kit. Let's take a look at this to click. Got the pattern down? Might take you a couple of weeks. Might pause this YouTube video, come back, practiced it. Now you're back here. Welcome back. Hope you're alright. Hope you had a couple of weeks. Hope it wasn't too stressful. Hope everything's going great for you. If you're happy with the pattern and you can play it confidently, let's take it over to the drums. To the drum kit! Alrighty then, here we are, the drum kit. So the first thing we're going to do is going to take that pattern we just learned on the pad. We're going to split our hands up, put our right hand on the hi-hat, left hand on the snare, and just get used to how that sounds. Now once we've done that, I want to see if we can add the bass drum in on beats 1 and 3 of that pattern, just to give us a simple, nice, solid rock groove. Should sound something a little bit like this. A little bit faster. So I think this sounds really cool. Just by changing that pattern earlier on with our right hand on the pad, we're starting to get this really cool melody come through in the hi-hat. And it just sounds so groovy. It's wicked. And what you can also do is you could add the kick drum in on beats 2 and 4, kind of get a 4 to the floor thing going. That is tasty. Love it. I find this, I mean, I play in a wedding band, and I find this kind of thing particularly useful because what's great about this pattern is that it keeps the backbeat there, so it keeps things moving. So if you did want to add a little bit of spice in perhaps, you know, you get a little bit bored, things aren't going on at the wedding, it's a bit of one of those dull ones. You think, you know what, I'm going to spice things up a little bit. Perhaps this is the one that you can use. Sorry, I gotta get carried away there. It's just such a great pattern. Just by putting your hands in different places, you can come up with so many different textures and different things. I've been posting some videos recently of me playing it and kind of as a percussive thing. And they're just simple choices. Our first choice was just to choose what pattern we were going to play and altering a pattern that perhaps we already knew ever so slightly to make it more fun and interesting. Our second pattern is just moving our hands around the drum kit, and it's just getting used to those different sounds, and it just starts to create so many fun things that we can do on the kit. So if you enjoyed those choices we made in this lesson, why not head over to my second video where I take us to the Groovetown Brewery. It's not a real place. Yet.